Well, new research shows that cold weather may contribute to catching a cold or a flu, but maybe not the way you think. For tips to keep us healthy over the holidays, we're joined by family physician Dr. Stephanie Liu, also known as Dr. Mom. So this is interesting stuff. How can the cold make us sick?
Yes, so it's not that the cold weather causes viruses, but instead when it's really cold, it causes our nose's natural immune defense to weaken, which allows those viruses to get in and make us sick. And when it's really cold outside, people are more likely to be indoors, and when people are indoors close together, viruses spread more easily.
So it's not in the traditional sense of like, oh, don't get out in the cold because you'll get sick, but there are factors, environmental factors regarding the cold that can contribute.
Exactly.
Interesting, very interesting stuff. Now, holiday time is a very fun time of the year. You're getting together, but it's also stressful. You're running around. You're at all these kinds of different events. Can stress also play a factor in illness at the holiday time?
Yes. So when people are under emotional stress, there's studies that show that it can actually weaken the immune system. And they've done studies to look at, both acute stress and chronic stress. And they found that both, whether it's short-term or long-term, it weakens the immune system and increases your likelihood of getting viruses like the rhinovirus or also even coronavirus. And we know that long-term chronic stress is really bad for us because it weakens the immune system, and so you're more likely to get sick. And when you get sick, it can be even more severe illness. Interesting.
And more stressful if you're missing out on events or things that you've been looking forward to because you got sick because you're stressed out. So we can just relax, everybody. Take care of yourself. Now, this is an interesting one, too, because kids are often outside. They're running around. They get hot in the jacket. They keep the toque on because most heat escapes from your head. Is that true?
Okay, you know what? I was one of those kids wearing the little toque and a t-shirt, walking around thinking I was totally protecting myself from the cold, even though I felt cold. And so that's actually a myth, okay? We lose heat from our skin's surface. And so our head only accounts for about 8 to 10% of our body's total surface area. So we lose, on typical situations, about 8 to 10% of our heat from our head. But let's say it's a cold day, we're all bundled up from all the way down, neck down, but just our head is exposed, then we can lose more heat.
Right, of course, because you don't have your head covered.
Yeah.
Okay, so cover everything, everybody out there, as it starts to get colder starting tomorrow. And then people trying to get outside and enjoy the weather, even if it is cold, but worried about taking their babies out there. And the play can be to wrap them up, bundle them up very tightly, many layers. Does that help them to be that bundled up in the cold?
Yeah, so it's kind of confusing because definitely when you go outside, you want your child to be warm. But a lot of times there's a risk of actually over-bundling. So we normally recommend that whatever an adult's wearing, just add one extra layer. And that's because babies aren't as good at regulating their temperature as adults. So they're at increased risk of getting cold, but also increased risk of overheating. So we say if you're dressing your child, wear what the adult is wearing, but just one extra layer. And making sure to frequently check your baby's temperature. So looking for signs of overheating. So red, flushed skin, if they're sweaty, or when you feel their skin and it's really hot, that's something that should kind of trigger you to say, oh, is my baby getting too hot?
Okay, and they can't tell you otherwise, so you got to check in them often. Dr. Mom, always helpful advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
If you'd like to get in touch with Dr. Liu or follow along with more of her advice, you can do so online at Life of Dr. Mom.